All right, next is from Eric Blanco, and the subject is Rick Rude. Hey, Konnan and Disco, do you have any more stories on Rick Rude? I know Disco said he really didn't act with Rick. From what I've heard, he was a guy who didn't take from anyone. Thanks in advance. Dude, let me explain to you. When you have, we're not going to tell generic stories about Rick Rude because it's just that's too generic a question. You have to ask us specific about something you heard about the guy. But Rude, like I said, I didn't really interact with Rude. I thought, but he was, like I said, when I walked in the rest of the locker room for the first time at WCW, and I'm walking around shaking hands, I was like, this guy had big, strong hands and big, strong forearms. Like the WCW locker room was a bunch of grown ass men with like muscles and strong forearms and hands, and so that's my Rick Rude story. What about you, Cody? Anything?
Bro, this is how strong Rick Rude was. Well, first of all, when he shook your hand, because he was kind of,
Yeah.
if you looked at him, he looked kind of thin, but he was kind of tall,
Right.
deceivingly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he had a grip and these forearms like you wouldn't believe. And one time I was hanging out with Kurt Hennig, and Rick Rude was like his boy, and so we all went into a bar together. And I hardly don't drink at all, but they were drinking, and some kept telling me, "Oh, let's arm wrestle," and all this other. And uh, Rick goes, "You got money?" He goes, "Yeah, of course I got money." And he goes, "Well, put it on the table." And then the guy goes, "Well, you don't trust me?" And he said, "I told you, put it on the table." And Court tells me, Kurt or whatever, he tells me, "Watch this. If you have to ask him again, he's probably gonna knock the guy out." And he goes, "Last time, put it on the table." The guy kept around, bro. I'm not kidding, Glenn. Let me see if I can see myself on this video because I had it kind of like had another window open. I kid you not. Here's the guy's face. This is where Rick Rude was, and it was that short a punch, and he knocked the guy out.
Yeah.
I was like, holy, how did he generate that much power? But he had really massive forearms and
Big
hands
hands
and a hell of a grip. Yeah.
That was always the story among fans, was that Rude could knock you out with an open hand slap. That's the kind of.
He's a good arm wrestler too.
Yo, what up? This is Konnan, and I host Keeping It 100, my co-host, Disco Inferno, unfortunately.
Well, I'd say you're my co-host.
Listen, every Thursday here on Spreaker, we talk pro wrestling, sports, movies, music, TV, pop culture, and some politics. It's everything the rest of the pro wrestling podcasts are not.
Tune in to hear myself, the superior one, educate and inform.
Tune in to hear me bury Disco.
That's very disrespectful.
Join us every Thursday on Spreaker and keep it 100. Boom!